Hey, welcome to another episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Tonight's beer was sent to me by a fan, so thank you, Richard, for the beer. I didn't even know there was a new vintage of this, which is surprising because when people ask me what my number one all-time favorite beer is, I usually say this one. This is none other than Founders CBS. It stands for Canadian Breakfast Stout. Imperial Stout brewed with chocolate and coffee, aged in bourbon barrels with maple syrup. 11.7 ABV. Bottled on October 16th, so less than 2 months old as of right now. So I pour it into the fancy schmancy Spiegel tulip crystal glass. As you can see, it's a brown coming out of the bottle. Once it's in the glass, it looks black. And you get actually a really big, kind of a light brown, frothy foam on there. And you'll see me battle with like this big bubble that just would not pop on the top there. Before I get into the aroma, I just wanted to show the website real quick. So 11.7 ABV, 45 IBUs. They don't really say much else about it. You know, it'd be nice to have like a history and all that. And they keep calling it CBS and like Untapped and Beer Advocate Rate Beer. They all call it Canadian Breakfast Stout. It's just CBS, guys. And as you'll notice, there's no Mountie on it this year. It says why the Royal Canadian Mounted Police file a legal cease and desist over the depiction of the Mountie seen in the Beer Street Journal pic below. We know it's not. Yeah, so I think that was happened a couple years ago actually, and I actually. I've reviewed that vintage. This, as far as I remember, this came out in 2017, and then in 2019 they did the 12-ounce bottles. So it's been 4 years since they put this out. So I mean, hopefully I'll have to wait another 4 years. And I know there are still 2017 750 ml bottles sitting on the shelf at the beer museum down the road. So although it is being refrigerated, so they should be holding up. So we're rambling. Let's dive in. Wow. Yeah, it kind of smells like when you walk into like Waffle House or IHOP or something like that. So it is everything it claims to be. I mean, I think I probably smell coffee first, but I'm also getting like almost equally maple syrup and they all kind of combine. So it has like a sweet smell, a roasty smell from the coffee. Can barely smell that alcohol. 11.7. It's not burning my nose or anything. Like this smells like the real thing. Hopefully it tastes like the real thing. Cheers. Wow. Yeah, it does taste like the real thing. Oh, so much going on here. I would say that the is remarkably sweet and yet pretty bitter at the same time. Wow. Yeah, so up front, like right away, I get the maple syrup and the chocolate, so like a sweet sensation, and just like a big, like thick maltiness to it. I will say, like it is not as complex and like intense as like Goose Island, Bourbon County, but it is just as intense in flavor overall. Yeah, so big chocolate coffee maltiness up front. I would say like I get it like it's that same kind of cherry puree essence you get like on a Bourbon County, but like not nearly to the intensity of that one. Once it's the apex, that's when the coffee kicks in. So you're getting not only like the flavor of coffee, but a nice kind of bitterness there, and like the coffee lingers into the aftertaste. So it's kind of like like if you had like pancakes, you took a bite of that, and you took a sip of coffee, like that kind of flavor. I forgot to mention like the whole bourbon barrel thing. Yeah, like the bourbon. It's funny because like bourbon and maple syrup, they have like actually pretty similar kind of flavors because like they're so sweet. I'm talking like the actual flavor of bourbon, not like the like booziness of it. Although I will say like this beer is well compared to Bourbon County, it's practically like Bud Light since it's only 11.7 ABV instead of almost 15. But yeah, so like the actual taste of the bourbon plus the woodiness, I would say like this is much more vanilla. Not so much like the toasted almond or coconut or anything like that. And it's really not like super woody like some like the Kentucky bourbon barrel, like those kind of lesser barrel aged type beers, it's like you're licking like dry wood. Like this is all about like the actual beer and like the additives. Yeah, I would say full bodied, but not thick, sticky full bodied. I think the Bourbon County is like even a bigger body than this one. And this has like a little bit more CO2 than the Bourbon County. So I'd probably put it like a full body, but not chewy. Probably about moderate carbonation. I mean, it is super smooth. Probably, yeah, I would call it like a creamy texture, especially with the maple syrup in there. And I would say like this is a gentle warmth, whereas like the Bourbon County it's almost like drinking like a pepper beer. Yeah, this is delicious. I will say like this isn't, maybe just because I've had this beer so many times and so many other beers that have imitated it over the year. This particular vintage, it is not quite blowing my mind the way it did like back in, I think it was 2011 when Jay and I first had it, when it first was available. I had to drive like 2 hours to get it. Yeah, check out that review somewhere up here. And I remember having the 2017, I think, over the summer, and it was still really great. I would say like this one, the difference between this vintage and the 2019, 2017, and 2011 is that this doesn't need to be aged. In fact, they actually say it's not on the bottle, but on the actual cardboard carrier, it says drink fresh. Because I remember like when we first had the 2017, it was like breathing fire. This one really doesn't need to be aged. It's drinking fine right now. If you age it, all it's going to happen is the coffee's going to drop out, maple syrup's going to drop out, and you're just going to be left with like a imperial stout. No. All right, so the score for the 2023 CBS. I mean, this is really, really good. My only complaint is that it's not a perfect, 5.0 beer. I will say like the Bourbon County we had just a few days ago was better than this, but this is really, really excellent. I'm going to say 4.5, maybe even 4.75. Again, my only complaint is just that it seems to be like a certain je ne sais quoi factor. It's just missing something, but otherwise it's like really excellent. So again, thanks to Richard for sending me not only this bottle, but a whole 4-pack. Yeah, and we have more of these types of beers coming up that we'll be reviewing over the next few weeks or so. So anyways, I'm rambling. If you watch all the way in, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys for Tuesday Night Beer School. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review.
Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.